How's it going, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and I want to get into Bngo today, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail. But I'm going to leave you guys a couple of links below. I'm not really going to necessarily go through these, but it's nice to see some good news lately in terms of news. Okay, you don't want to just follow what the news tells you. But when you start seeing the negative sentiment turn around from the news being negative to starting to get more positive about it, typically that's when the turnaround starts coming. You get the positive news, then you get the retail starting to follow, starting to get more optimistic about the stock. You get retail starts piling in, and then all of a sudden you get into this euphoric stage and the cycle continues. So I'm going to get into the chart here. I'm also going to check out the balance sheet really quick and give you my thoughts on Bngo. And if you guys don't mind hitting the like and subscribe, I definitely appreciate it, and it does help my small channel out. And consider hitting the notification bell so you can stay tuned every time I drop a new video. I do put out videos every single day, but I do appreciate your support. And let's get into the chart here. We've got Bngo down at right at about $3. We are trying to consolidate. Let's zoom in a little bit first. We are trying to consolidate here right at this $3 mark. We are trying to consolidate right at this $3 mark. We're having trouble staying above the EMA. We tried here. That was almost a confirmation, but then we pulled back. I can see this continuing sideways for a little bit longer, but I do think that the downside is just about over. If you look back in history, we were at about 60 cents, but this was during the pandemic. So I'd consider more like right around this $1.50 or so. So that's the max downside. You could place a stop loss at like, say, 260. That might be a way to go with this one if you just want to kind of do a somewhat of a swing trade. If you're not fully convicted in Bngo and you just want to do it as a trade, put a stop loss at, say, 260 or so. It'll kick you out if it drops further. But I do like it where it's at, and I will be adding my position next week to Bngo. And if history is any indication of the future, look at this date here. We were right here. We were right at December, the end of 2020, and then what happened? Okay, we got a lot of hype piling in on this one. There was a boom in the genomics sector as a whole, I believe. Bngo was one to definitely soak in the success of that market. Now looking at it, we were just at about $15, almost $16. I'm going to give it a price target of 10. I do think that over 2022, we'll see 10 on it. One thing to be aware of is there has been dilution, all right? And hopefully the company took advantage of these rips when they diluted. But in reality, if you're a long-term investor, that isn't a bad thing, okay? If you're getting in now. Now, if you've been holding it since 10, since 15, since even 6, 5, you might be looking at this dilution as a bad thing. But if you're long term on the company, this is the whole point of the stock market. The dilution, the more issuance of shares helps companies grow. It gives them access to more capital. And, excessive dilution is definitely a bad thing, okay? You don't want that, and you don't want continued dilution, constant, but I think Bionano Genomics, they know what they're doing, and I don't expect all too much dilution coming into 2022. Okay, we might have a little bit, but I highly doubt that it's going to be at the scope that it was. And we're going to look at the balance sheet in a second here. But I just wanted to tell you guys, we are trying to find a base here. We did that before bouncing, and there's a false breakout and we fell down. I think that next breakout is going to be the one. I really do. We've got the positive sentiment turning around on Bngo. I'm going to go to the balance sheet here, and I'm going to tell you why I like it at its current price. Now, I'll leave you guys a link to this as well. It's easy to find. Just go on Yahoo Finance. And remember that the numbers are in the thousands. So how you would find this, how you would get this, okay, so for example, you've got what looks like 18,092 here. This is going to be 18,092,092. Once you get to a comma, that next number is going to be in the millions. If you really wanted to, you could use a calculator, but it's not, I don't think it's necessary if you know this little trick. And once you get into the thousands of thousands, you're in the millions, okay? So for total assets, we're looking at 359 million. And for total debt, they don't have any debt, okay? They've serviced all their debt, it looks like, and that's a great thing. And especially at the current market cap, especially at a market cap of under $1 billion, I mean, they're looking pretty good in a financial standpoint. So they are in a pretty good standpoint, in my opinion, especially in 2022 with raising interest rate hikes. It's good to see them not have debt. That's going to be a positive thing for this company in 2022, I think. It's nice to see some assets. I mean, almost their assets is almost half of the market cap. That's a good thing to see. But what I don't like seeing here is the issuing shares. All right, the shares have been continuing to increase. All right, and if you go to annual 2019, 34 million. 2020, 149 million. Or 189 million, excuse me. 189 million. So it's just something to be aware of. You can go to the quarterly here and see what they've been doing each quarter in 2021. But yeah, they have been issuing shares. It seems like it's been slowing down after 2020, though. They kind of slowed down. So I like it at its current price. I would be watching their next quarter, their next earnings report here, and seeing just what the deal is with the issuance of shares, what their plans are there, see if we hear anything about that. And there was recent news about their single molecule imaging system prototype for their OGM, optical genome mapping. I'll leave you guys a link for this one as well, as always. And there's also some links below if you want some free rewards with BlockFi, Voyager, Crypto.com, Coinbase, and Webull if you want some free stocks. But check out the links below. It definitely helps me out. And that's basically it. Just a quick Bngo update. Don't talk about Bionano Genomics too often, but I do like it at its current price. I like it at its market cap, and I do think 2022 will be a good year for Bionano. But thanks as always, guys. I will see you on the next one.